cut no corners. You can't go and you can't, it ain't gonna happen like that. It's only one way you're gonna get to it, and you gotta earn it. You gotta understand the value of yourself, even if you're dead broke and don't see it right now.
I'm hungry for this shit, bro. I want the world and everything in it.
The young hustlers coming up, it ain't no limit on your value. Ain't no limit on your net worth. Can't nobody tell you how much
Ain't no ceiling on where you about to go.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let me fix that. We back. Long Way Media, Long Way Podcast family. Wherever you found me, wherever you know me from, what's going on? We ain't got nobody in here yet, but it's all good. Peace and love to everybody. Second podcast this week, man. I'm on the grind. We got Donald Morgan, this brother right here. I mean, we're gonna talk about how we met. It was funny, but I'm gonna let him up. What's going on?
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
I wish peace and blessings to everybody that's on this call. We'll be on this call, and we'll see this video later.
Absolutely.
Feel very special.
Man, so give people a little brief introduction of yourself, what you do, and where you from, and your name.
All right, so my name is Donald Morgan, as you can see. I'm originally from Mississippi, a small town called Heidelberg, Mississippi.
Okay.
And pretty much I summarize it as entrepreneur and investor, but really I'm a day trader, real estate investor, and pretty much anything that has a great ROI, either I'm in it, will be in it, or pretty much
Yeah,
whatever
I mean, that's the
opportunity.
entrepreneurship, though.
Yes, sir. Yes.
We get into everything and try and do our best in everything we get into.
Yeah. Also, more importantly, I do a lot of stuff for the youth. I'm a big part of my church,
Okay.
Church of God in Christ. And one thing I noticed that, a lot of gifts I got, it was to service not just, my family, but others as well. So uh whatever my church asks of me, whatever God asks of me, that's what I do. And all glory to God. All my talents and my gifts, and whatever blessings God got for me coming even more, because He ain't done blessing me yet.
For
You
sure.
feel me?
That's all right. So, man, how we before we get started, we're gonna talk about how we met. Like it was funny to me, but I think it was God though. At the same
Yeah,
time, said
absolutely.
that right after we met, I was like, man, it was God. Like, so I was in Best Buy.
Best Buy, right? Yeah.
And then like I was walking around, I feel like the workers like kept staring at me. I'm like, man, they keep like asking me if I need help with anything or if they can help me out. I don't like that. So then I think I'm looking at something. I think it was like cameras or something like that, tripods. And then you was right there. And then I was like, man, let me ask them if they watching. I was like, man, they watching you like they watching me. And then we just started talking from there. It was like, I don't know what made me say something to you, but it was just like, man. And then you asked me what I be doing or how I be doing my stuff. And I talked about my other podcast.
Hello?
Okay,
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Oh, shoot. I can hear you. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Hold on.
Hello?
I'm gonna try and go back out and come back in. Hold on. Let me. Oh man, the devil is busy. We ain't gonna give him the time.
Yeah, messed up. You hear me now? Mic check,
I can
mic
hear
check.
you. I can hear you.
Okay, let
I'm
me.
about to message you.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, so turn your phone on do not disturb if you can, and then come back, go back out, and then come back in. Can you hear me?
I heard you, brother. I'm about to do it right now. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
All
Okay,
right, cool.
devil be working, but
Man, like I said, we ain't gonna give him the time of day though.
absolutely not.
But yeah, I mean, we met at Best Buy. We just started talking, and then you was telling me about some of the stuff you do, and then what I was getting into and what I started to do. So
Right.
I think it was just, like I said, it was just God that we met at that point, and we just started connecting. We shared social medias, and then it just jumped off from there.
What's beautiful about your situation is I've been behind the scenes so long. I just like at first I used to like to just help people make money, and I just make
Yeah,
money behind the scenes. God told me in this new season He wanted me to be more visual.
right.
So
Yeah.
you one of the first people to get a chance to actually do a full live video of me on your
Okay.
YouTube, and it won't be the last. So don't
Right.
feel,
Right.
yeah, of course not. So a lot
I
of
got
people
the
would,
exclusive though. I feel like.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
A lot of people been asking. I said no. I got a young man. I'm doing his podcast first, and then whoever else comes after that. So
For
you get
sure.
to say you get the first podcast video of me.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, talk about what inspired you to start your journey as an entrepreneur and an investor.
So when I grew up in Heidelberg, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't know. To the outsiders, think of a third world country in America. You know what I'm saying? So small town, probably like 1,000 capacity, if that,
Yeah,
give or take. Uh, everybody, my cousin. You know
man,
what I'm saying?
same way here.
We in Mississippi, so it's like you only can see as far as what you were presented, right?
Yeah,
So I only knew Mississippi, really, and just to summarize, I only knew Heidelberg, and then it's Laurel, and you got Bay Springs, and then you got, Jackson was considered like Disney World for like
yeah,
to me, because it's the capital of the state, and we got like the fair, and you got like big events, the Coliseum. So when you growing up in Mississippi, I mean, my neighbor was a farmer. He was also a pastor.
yeah.
So, but he also was one of the first black men I knew that had a PhD. So
Wow.
it was the work ethic was there. It's just like the area in Heidelberg is a place where you either do something or you pretty much you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got that mindset to want to achieve higher for yourself, or you just be complacent and you be somebody that never see beyond the forest.
right.
And as I gradually grew as a person, as a young man, I saw a lot of people struggling financially. Me, I was like, money got to be very important because every time I look up, somebody need to pay this bill, somebody is struggling with this bill,
Right.
or um, people getting into arguments, because of financial instability.
Yeah.
And you like, wow, it's like you like people talk about money ain't everything, but being broke, I seen the most drama
Yeah. It's
with
causing a
people
lot of
struggling.
problems though.
Yeah, a lot of problems. So I just grew up. I love my grandmother so much. Shout out to my grandmother who built my foundation as a man and introduced me to prayer and the church. So I never liked seeing her struggle. So
Yeah.
it was days we had to pull out the candles. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She made sure I ate. She took care of me, but it was just days that we had to pull out the candles. Lights been off. Water might have been off for a little while, not too long, but the lights been off maybe a couple of days. And um, she was always helping folks. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she wasn't the most wealthiest person, but she was the most selfless woman I ever met.
Right.
And so she wasn't going to let her sister or she wasn't going to let certain family members go through certain things, but also she wasn't going to let me be in a bad position as well. So I give a lot of credit to that woman for having me be this way because
Right.
let's start with her because that's how I learned work ethic.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever learned work ethic is it also probably helped me inspire to not be broke.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I used to challenge me in math class. I'll never forget my math class where I had to be at least four more assignments, four more chapters ahead of the class.
Wow.
So when I go home while everybody done with like chapter one, I had to go to chapter five.
Yeah. So you was
So
just ahead of the game.
I thought it was punishment at first. I'm like, I'm 5, 6 years, you young, you like,
Yeah,
oh man, you know what I mean? I want to go outside and play.
right,
But what I learned was we didn't have these cell phones, right?
right.
I didn't have the internet, right?
Yeah.
At that time, I'm 94. I don't know about y'all. I had a black and white TV.
Oh
So
man.
I had to smack that thing until we got like a high tech TV. But
Yeah.
my nights was, my days with my grandmother was young and restless, days of our lives, Walker Texas Ranger. I come from them trenches,
Yeah.
John Wayne and whatever. But other than that, it was always hitting them books.
Right.
So I learned that when I got to school, it showed that I was on a roll, but I was ahead of assignments. And I remember the teacher saying, Donald, we not on that assignment yet. We ain't made it that far yet.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Miss, I'm past that. So I gotta give a shout out to my grandmother, man.
Shout
She
out to
put
her.
me in it. She put me in that direction. And then we end up losing her um around my second grade year. So
Man, RIP to Grams.
hey man, RIP to my grand man. We ended
Right.
up losing her for she got really sick. At the time she was taking care of our great grandfather,
Yeah,
and me. And one day she ended up falling out and ended up in the hospital. I
man.
thought she was good one day, and it turned out, one day at school, my mom came, you like, look, I gotta withdraw you out of school. She didn't make it.
Dang.
So that the last time I left her in the hospital, saying my hey, and can't wait till you come home. That was the last time I got to speak to her.
Right.
So I do employ anybody, whatever you're doing in life, make sure you take care of your health, make sure you take care of your mental health,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying? And keep in mind that, it's a time to grind and it's a time to take a breather,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. You definitely gotta find that balance.
find that balance. So what happened to me was grandmother passed away. I kind of lost my way as the discipline a little bit, but somehow I found my way back. My character still stayed the same. But me as a kid, I had to grow up from project to project now to, you know, loving situations, but every situation wasn't a loving situation. So,
Yeah.
influence, street influence, you know, me around gang violence, police brutality, all type of stuff like
Mhm.
that, racism. I'm from Mississippi, so that's what we had to go through.
Right.
So past all that, it's like, all right, what do I want to do in life? So that got me thinking, like, who do I know that can help me or guide me to where I want to be in life? Because right now I'm in my teenage years. During that time, like, I don't know. I know
Yeah.
I don't want to be a failure.
Right.
At one point my grades were slipping in school, and the teacher said, "Hey, look, you want to repeat the same grade?" I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. No.
So I wasn't dumb. Like at the work, I wasn't like how you say struggling with doing the work. I was just
Right.
in a depressing state.
Yeah.
So once she said you gonna repeat the same grade, I was like, "Oh no, we're not."
Yeah. No,
So
that can't happen.
my grade shut up. I was like, "I ain't
Yeah.
coming back here." Look, no repeat. So I ended up learning that a lot of my friends wasn't living like me, right? A lot
Hmm.
of my friends, they had like, I'm 15, 16. I'm seeing some of the homies, they rolling up in big trucks, big
Yeah.
pickup 4x4s, somebody rolling up in a Corvette,
Oh man.
it's high school. I'm like, man, what's going on? What we
Right.
doing? Because now I moved from Heidelberg. Now I'm after Katrina. We're all the way on the Gulf Coast. So
Wow.
now it's a whole new world. I'm like, so they had to let you drive the Corvette? I'm like, okay.
Right.
Okay. You know, ain't no, 16-year-olds are driving in no Corvette.
Yeah.
This person got a was a Dodge Challenger over here. This one got a Dodge Charger. They
Oh
getting
man.
scats. They getting scats now, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. But McDonald's wasn't gonna pay no scat or
No.
no Corvette money.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, you ain't gonna get that with no McDonald's money.
So I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, man. The most wealthiest person I knew at that time was somebody I was close to, but it
Hmm.
wasn't like a close family member. And shout out to him. He was an entrepreneur and a principal.
Oh,
So at
okay.
that time, so I was like, he was like, well, you got to get educated and you got to figure out what business model you want to go into, what niche. So he had, rest in peace to Kirby Gilmore, he had
Yeah.
land, he had horses, he had cows. He was a principal with his own PhD. He was also a friend of the family. And then gradually I started figuring out that a lot of other people had trade skill sets and other people that was like super educated, they ain't always have like the most money.
Yeah.
They had like the degrees,
Right.
but the money didn't hit them because they didn't have no niche, no system, or no principles.
Right.
And then it boiled down to, oh, I need to learn how to get a trade. It's not my fault that I'm broke,
Yeah.
financially now. My mom, my dad, they was young and having kids early, and they wasn't introduced to certain vehicles, and if they was, they didn't know how to capture that moment.
Right.
So with me, I said, all right, I ain't finna die like this. So I'm working dead end jobs, I'm in college. I'm like pulling everything I can from whoever can give me something to put in my ears so I can
Yeah.
listen. And what I noticed was all the entrepreneurs had something, right? They had something of service for whoever wanted what they had.
Right.
So that led me to get into sales, which I hated it, but I'm good at it when I believe in the product or I want to put myself into whatever it is that is. But I
Yeah.
had to get to somebody that knew more than what my family knew. Because you can't learn how to make $1 million from people who never made $100,000 and can see it.
Right.
So you want to be a millionaire, but everybody around you, besides the people that was giving you that wisdom, your circle of influence is not there.
No.
And these older guys, they like 60, 50, you know what I'm saying, going on to their 70s. So they got their money. I'm not hanging around them. I can't just go where they going to. I'm just a teenage kid, and I when I see them, but they got wives and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't got time to roll around with no 15, 16-year-old kid.
Yeah. And that's tough. And I think I've been in that situation where like there's people
Yeah,
that are like I'm cool with, or like I can talk to certain things about, but I mean they don't have the time for me all the time, or they don't have the time to invest into me like they would like their kid or something like that. Yeah, it gets
right.
tough, but then I mean you just got to figure it out on your own at that point. I feel like.
So what I did was I reverse engineered my mindset. Whoever I met that had quality information, I took what they gave me, and then I learned. I made the most successful people in the world my mentor. So what happened was around like I think 17 years old, I started to get into the knowledge of stocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And me, it was about to be the funny part of the video. I was like, I'm up here trying to learn about stocks for black people don't do that.
I mean, you're
I
not
said,
wrong though.
yeah, they didn't. It's like 13 years ago. I don't see nobody, the Wolf of Wall Street, the movie, you
Yeah.
white. You got all the other movies, they all white.
Right.
I don't know not one person that went to Wall Street from Mississippi,
Yeah.
let
No.
alone I don't know a black person from Mississippi from anywhere across the world that was in Wall Street.
Right.
So, but I do know it's successful black people that invest. I knew that at least. But you talk about I'm learning like penny stocks. I'm looking at this, I'm frustrated about it. I'm like, man, I can't do this, man. So
I
I
believe
quit
it.
for a little bit. I'm learning about real estate around the same time. Um, I come back to it because I can't give it up. Still trying to figure it out. Got a little bit of success in penny stock. Uh, right around the time I was getting success in real estate.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to shadow probably one of the most successful, two, my bad, a woman and a man, two of the most successful real estate people on the Gulf Coast. And one of them is still here and the other one is retired. You know,
Okay.
she that was the first woman I ever seen that showed me a $100,000 check on her first real estate deal.
Wow.
That was I'll never forget that day I seen that check. That was a check. It was for 100,000 and some change. And I think I still got the picture somewhere. I'll show it to you one day.
Yeah.
Uh, but she had that check, and the property was a duplex. And not only was it a duplex, it accumulated to about, I think it went from like worth 6 figures to about $2 million.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was an insane growth for that house,
Yeah, that's a
and
jump.
so I was like, yeah, I need to throw whatever money I get, I'm gonna throw that in real estate. So I still did real estate. I started out learning how to wholesale, then you know, fix and flip, and then so on and so forth. But trading, however,
Hmm.
it would not leave me. God was like, you need to come back to this. So I ended up still doing penny stocks. I'm meeting all type of people from Wall Street, that used to be in that industry or had some type of success stock wise,
Yeah.
you know. And fast forward to that, it led me to leave penny stocks, and I ended up day trading, like just forex.
Yeah.
So I started day trading commodities, and what happened was a guy had told me, "Why don't you try this out?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me look more into this." I heard of currencies. I know about currency exchange. You pretty much when you go to a different country, you gotta swap out the money. So what happened was with that, I ended up going to forex, and I ain't never looked back. Uh, I went, and I would work my job,
Hmm.
come home and study every single day. So I was running off for 2, 3 hours of sleep.
Wow.
I would study, work on my craft, come back. Then it led me to go start hanging out with more traders when I got some success. And then what I realized was um everybody had a system,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna touch on this again, system.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sure. So everybody had their own strategy. But what I noticed was the most experienced ones, they had something so precise and they stuck to their rules. So I ended up meeting some good people with that. And then I'm already inspired by people like Warren Buffett, but I ain't got no Warren Buffett money.
Right.
So it's small steps to a giant. You got to be able to crawl before you walk.
Yeah.
So, so I went and I noticed that he made a lot of his money from like S&P 500, Nas 100, and other investments and companies as well. But I was like, oh, I can trade those things. Forex is another thing that people sleep on. I was doing it before it became a gimmick,
Right.
before it was super popular into the network marketing companies,
Yeah.
way before then. And I was like, when did everybody start trading Forex? Where I been at? So fast forward, I made, in the beginning, my first success, I made my first $100 from day trading Forex. Quick.
Okay.
I think it was like, I don't even know if it was like 10 minutes.
Wow.
So I thought I was the man. I made $100 in 10 minutes. What?
Yeah.
Let me go get me a soda and a bag of chips. I'm the man.
Right.
But then I kept on, I kept on. Yeah, I did. Hey, small beginnings, right?
Yeah. For sure.
So I went, I looked up, I started trading the Forex pair called, and I ain't ever said it publicly. The first pair I ever made my first $1,000 in a day, Australian dollar, Australian dollar against United States dollar,
Yeah.
AUD USD. So I went to sleep on the trade because this trade is very slow. It's very slow. It's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning London session. I wake up a little bit after that, you know, to check the trade. I look up, I'm up like 700, seven
Wow.
hundred dollars, and it's a long time ago. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what, $700 in one day? No, to somebody else, they might laugh at it, but I'm like, dude, I just made $700 in one day working a job at that time that took me 2 weeks to make $800.
Wow.
Perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I said, ooh, let me keep going. Let me hold it because the target I had for it, it wasn't done. I looked up, I was up $1,200 by the end of that day. By the probably around like 10 o'clock, something like that, 10 or 11 o'clock. So I was like, let me take that. Let me close that before I lose it.
Right.
So I just sat there like this. I was like, all right, it's really working. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Let me keep it going. Let me keep it going. So I kept going. I kept going. I got better. I started making more money. Then those $1,000 days turned into $5,000 days. Those $5,000 days it went up to making a $10,000 day.
Mm,
I think that might have been on well no, that was the fastest I ever made, like 10 bands. I ain't gonna say that was the first time, but
mhm.
United States dollar plus the Japanese yen. AUD USD is very slow. And it pays well though, if you know how to trade it. But USD JPY at that time back in the day, it used to pay well because I had a friend of mine used to trade. He used to make so much money off that pair. I was like,
Yeah.
let me go see what that's about. Let me take my wheelbarrow over here.
Right.
But the key component, the key thing people got to notice is notice I only said two trading pairs. So I wasn't trading a bunch of pairs.
Right.
My learning curve, I was trying to get my learning curve quicker. If I'm studying like 18,000 pairs and I still ain't mastered my craft and what type of trader I am, it was going to hinder my growth.
Right.
So I like tunnel vision on those small pairs, and then I was able to, when I was making a month at my job, I ended up being able to make a day.
Mm,
So
mhm.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that
that's
it's
tight.
growth. It's growth. So mastery is like this, and I never say I fully master trading. I'm always learning. Or real estate, I'm still learning. Mastery is like this. You stick to one niche until you master that niche far as like I get so good at it, you can do it in your sleep. And it go back to systems I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So before I left real estate and trading, I understood where I was at with that. And I haven't and left, I mean, I just started distributing my money elsewhere.
Yeah.
I started focusing on them two and then getting them to the point where it's like breathing. Like even now, people talk to me like, "Oh, you still trade?" Yeah. You don't talk about it as much as you used to. It's just another
It
day in the office.
yeah,
So like,
this is what I do.
yeah,
This ain't
I
even
don't get
nothing
it.
to talk about.
I don't get excited no more. I see the
Yeah.
money, I win money, I lose some money, I break even some days and with some trades, and I'm still way. I started with $100.
Man, I got a homeboy. This is like my brother, but he Asian. I don't mean that no. But he
Yeah,
man, he like for this month of June, he was just
yeah,
in the house trading. That's all he's been doing is just in the house trading. Going to work, coming home trading. Like that's all he's been doing. I don't know how much he made. I mean, it ain't my business, but like
yeah,
he's been just going at it. And I really give him props for that because he's like, man, I can't
yeah,
even hang out with y'all. You know, I love y'all, but
yeah,
I'm trying to get to it. So what's some tips you think you would give somebody, even him? I mean, he's in it. He's like not well experienced, but he's in it and
yeah.
he's getting started in it.
Well, I've been trading probably since like learning curve. You could say I've been on it for like a decade.
Yeah.
Like just monstrous growth, probably by like 8 years.
Wow.
Like so, like the tip, like I tell people because I don't want to promote people to think like how I think.
Right.
Get what you got, get what you want out of trading, and then just enjoy yourself. So me, once I learned how to, and when I first started trading, I had friends that was making $100,000 a day. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I had friends that was
Wow.
making $500,000 a week. So at that time, and they been trading way longer than me. But
Yeah.
what I can say to him is, with me here, I'm gonna just say with me first. I wanted to learn how to, master being a day trader or what they call retrader. So one day start a hedge fund. Now I'm already in that trajectory.
Right.
So I want to build my hedge fund up to $100 million AUM, So with that, I have to leave my old thinking of a regular trader and transform into think like a Wall Street veteran, the Ray Dalios, the Warren Buffetts, etc. So with your friend, I would tell him like stick to your trading plan,
Yeah.
up them lot sizes when
Right.
you see growth. Because if you don't up them lot sizes, that money ain't gonna come up either.
Yeah.
I don't know if you trade stocks, options, and stuff like that, but
I'm not even sure
uh,
he don't talk about it that much. He just talk about like I'm doing it. But then he don't tell
yeah,
me too much about it.
yeah, he has to, and where, depending on where his growth at, he got to make sure he stay consistent with understanding. He got to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
I got like compositions of books of just like notes of trades and notes of myself, and I'm always checking myself
Right.
because as a day trader, we got greed. I'll never forget. Man, I only made $1,000 in one day. That's it. Then I said, whoa, 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 whoa,
That's a
whoa.
blessing.
Wait a minute. Since when did you make $1,000 in a job in one day?
Right.
I was like, you right. I said, check myself. Let me check myself.
Yeah.
So we get greedy, and then that turns into a bad habit. Or he need to make sure that he's actually hiring his lot sizes, which will give him more profit.
Hmm.
Based off the trades he's taking. I would tell him and anybody else that's listening to this, make sure you're taking quality trades. You know, because I can literally off of one move of any pair, if I see a high probability trade, if you trade in 18 pairs and you ain't taking the best trade, I guarantee you I can make more money than you off that one move and be done while you trying to trade 18 pairs.
Mm.
So less is more, you
Right.
know. Uh what's another? So many things. I also tell him to keep track of everything. Like make sure he has pictures of the trades he take, win or lose. Make sure you don't just go back to study your losing trades, study your winning trades.
Right.
People be like, oh, I won that trade. I don't want to look at it. Why don't you want to look at what made you
What
successful?
did I do? Yeah. What did I do right? How did I get this? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at everything. Don't go to too many people to try to get mentored. That's
Yeah.
gonna hurt you. That will hurt you. I learned from like Ray Dalio, and I'm just gonna use these two and Warren Buffett. I learned how they think and I learned how they diversify. I don't go to them to learn how to trade. I
Right.
learned how to and why to certain things. I don't care about what Warren Buffett wants to invest in. I want to know how Warren Buffett thinks.
Right.
I want to think how he thinks to see that that thing that everybody else don't see. So while you worried about what Warren Buffett already put his money in, if I'm already thinking in the mentality he thinking, I'm already there anyway. You just behind. You're
Yeah.
trying to wait for him to let me and to get a stock with Berkshire Hathaway, it's kind of like I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure right now it's over $730,000 to buy one stock.
Wow.
That's how amazing how amazing that dude is and how well educated he is.
Yeah.
Ray Dalio, not nobody to sleep on either. He has billions, 200 billions in his AUM, I believe. And you don't get that to that level thinking like a retail trader. You just
Yeah.
don't. You can make good money being a retail trader, but you're not going to get to the point where you're just super successful
Right.
uh in a capacity that like you're creating a monstrous brand, a monstrous platform.
Yeah.
Like when I say Berkshire Hathaway, everybody like that's in the financial literacy, that's in the investment world. They're like, oh, that's Warren Buffett,
Right.
you know. But another thing with him, I'm also tell him, you know, get a good accountant.
Okay.
Don't play with the IRS, man. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Nah.
Look,
You
I
don't.
hey, they don't like me already. I got great accountants, a
Oh
great
man.
account. They be
Yeah.
like, yeah, like I got accountants so good. They'll tell the IRS, they'll make sure the IRS, hey, you owe us some money. The IRS owe me some money. We getting there. You know what I'm saying? We gonna
Yeah.
get there. Yeah, and like when you start making good money, um, like I buy the sports cars and I take the fancy trips and stuff like that. don't be so materialistic it hurts your growth.
Right.
Trade where you at. You know what I'm
That's for
saying?
anything, though.
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm not gonna be that day trader coming on here telling y'all that yeah, man, you get that money, man, you need to
Go
blow
spend
it.
a
You know,
hundred
you need
thousand on nothing.
100,000. No, I take if I generate 100 grand, that's going in some real estate.
Yeah.
If I generate a 200 grand or whatever, I'm breaking that down, taxes, whatever. I'm gonna put that towards some crypto. I'm gonna put that towards whatever other business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure I still be sticking to the plan. The plan is to be wealthy, not look wealthy.
Right.
I can't say rich because I was born rich before I got money. God said I was rich already. So,
Mm,
so
that's far.
rich, bars. You know what I mean? Rich, like rich people. Like it'd be funny because I met so many billionaires in my life now. I never forget. I met a Wall Street billionaire. It was like the quietest dude ever. And
Yeah.
I literally used to work at his job at the business that he bought for his dad and his mom as a retirement plan, right? And it's like a $300 million hotel, bro. He just gave it to him for a retirement plan, bro. So
Dang.
I'm like, oh my God. But shout out to him. He been in Wall Street since he was I'm gonna say he been like a prodigy since he was like 16.
Wow.
So he owned a bunch of hedge funds across the world, which I will be getting with him soon.
Yeah.
His name. I'm not the same person I used to be when I used to work at his dad's business. So
Yeah.
yeah, different. Well, I think he knew I was gonna quit. That's why because every time he came to the job, he always seeing me in a new position. Like every time,
Yeah.
every time he crept in, I was in a new position and I was making more money.
Wow.
So I know how to be a great worker because I
Right.
thought like a boss already.
Yeah.
I might not have knew that, but at that time, my networking skills was impeccable, like amazing. Like I didn't like getting in the room is half the battle.
It is. Yeah. And let me ask you this question based off of that. How do you
Yeah,
think entrepreneurs and even traders, marketers, how do you think let's just say young black ones, because I mean that's me and you. I mean,
right,
so that's our peers, that's who we see mainly.
right.
Where do you think they go wrong with trying to get into doors and present themselves? How do you think they go wrong about that? In what ways do you think they could improve on that?
Uh, Mostly it's our culture. So
Yeah.
who you going around? But when I was first trying to go to my first conference, I remember I was spent like it was a real estate conference too. Everybody was negative towards it. Oh, don't go. Oh, it's a scam. It was a guy named Than Merrill, and probably anybody that probably noticed, they probably go look him up, and he's still doing real estate. A dude named Than Merrill, he had a seminar going on. So I bought my ticket. I ain't asking no questions.
Mm,
I think it was around the time I had just got my new apartment. I was living alone. Um, Went straight to Than's conference. He blew my muffin cap back. You know how they say.
yeah.
That was the day I said my whole life changed, and I was like, not only do I not have the right information, but I'm doing everything so wrong,
Yeah.
and it's not my fault because I'm in this room. The month before I went to that conference, everybody, oh, get your money back, stop doing them scams, stop
Man.
doing that. Like I'm listening to people that ain't even got like some people was waiting on food stamps the next
Yeah,
month.
like you're
Telling them,
not even doing what I'm trying to
hey,
do.
yeah, some people was like they living paycheck to paycheck, and then the others was just like negative. Everything is a scam, you
Yeah.
know. And I went to the conference. I ended up learning that when you go to conferences, you don't just go for the people on the stage. You
Right.
go for the people that's coming.
Yeah.
Because those people that's coming is most likely to be a business partner, or y'all might end up doing something with each other. You never know.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to see what his millionaire students, how they operated their businesses, and I got to see how he operated some of his businesses.
Mm,
Everything was in a systematic approach, and he lived by principles. So whatever he done and whatever he built, it worked without him or with him because it had a system and principles. Like
right.
if you don't have like even with the Bible, I tell people all the time, they be like, don't know how you get so smart, how you learn how to do that. I said, God, bro. Because at the time I was praying, at the time I was consistently devoting my life to Christ, my blessings and my requests was coming like crazy.
Yeah.
I said, God, I could say, God, I want to meet Steve Harvey. That next month, I'm in Miami, I'm next to Steve Harvey. Like, it don't even matter what it was.
Right.
I said, God, I want to meet, Grant Cardone. I'm friends with the whole team now,
Wow.
or God, I
Yeah.
want to be able to do this, do that. It's like everything I prayed for, I requested, and that he approved, I got it. So our influence, like our parents, our cousins, our whoever in your family or close relationship, friend wise, in your neighborhood, they probably gonna be negative towards you stepping out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then you go, and if you're, you don't check yourself and you don't understand that their influence can kill your growth, what's going to happen is you're going to become them. So when you get in the right location, that's if you have the courage to go to the right location or the right circle, they not gonna want you around.
Right.
Not because you're not you, it's because you're not being yourself and you're bringing what your family brought. Or you a person that don't take nothing serious. You a person that like to get in the room to look like you're doing something, and you go home and you got the same habits.
Yeah.
Shout out to one of my other mentors. He makes to get him one on one, you got to spend $1 million, and he only taking like 20 some people a year.
Mm.
And the thing is, he don't just deliver; he over delivers.
Yeah.
Everybody's fighting to get in his $1 million program because they want to be able to learn from what he got going on.
Right.
And what's happening is they have proven back to back results. you know. And another secret thing behind me is, everybody know I'm a day trader or a real estate person, but I am a business growth consultant, right? So what that means is I can tell you how much money you make based off of what you tell me you do
Right.
and how you tell me you do it. Automatically, if you tell me you make $100,000, you ain't got no real system or no real principles, I can tell you right now, your business probably will crumble without you.
Mm.
100% in less than a year.
Wow.
I can tell you probably around the right area where you probably going bankrupt.
That's amazing though. I mean, and it's helpful. That's
Yeah,
why, like I said, I'm glad I got you in my corner. Because I mean,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, bro. You look, man. You the first person for a reason,
Right.
and it's not about a platform for me. It's about what God wants me to do.
Right.
Like me even being a consultant, I kind of got like into consulting by accident because I was having results, you know, and how I knew I can like speak life and speak a proper guidance for someone was I was at a conference and this young man, like 21 years old, I was like super younger at that time. I was like 20 in my mid 20s. That
Yeah.
man took a composition of notes from me, listening to what I was telling him while we was at the conference.
Wow.
2 months after that, him and his business partner generated 80 grand in 2 months
Dang.
from a business I have never done. I just know brick and mortar. I just
Right.
know sales. I just know marketing. And my social media platform, this is the first time I ever did a personal social media platform because
Yeah.
I didn't help do the marketing for other people and where people got millions of followers now. You know,
Yeah.
I got faceless social media with way more followers than what I got. But it's like it's not about my personal following, it's not about how many followers I can get. I like to send out a proper message. If I ain't got no message, I don't want to send it.
Right.
You know, people be so focused on like how do I get my followers up, which you need to be focusing on is how can I impact people more. You
Yeah.
impact people more, the followers will come because you will have something of substance to give them, the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And then when you give them something and you only give them something that they want, you don't give them something that you want to give them. Like I tell people, I never sell to somebody that don't need what I got. I sell to people that's already looking for what I provide.
Right.
If you sell to people and have what they already want, you don't really have to sell to them because you just let them know you exist.
Yeah. Man, that's like I know people have to go back and watch that because I know
Yeah,
that went
right
over
there.
people's head. Yeah, that
Yeah,
went over people's head.
yeah, and then you got to find out, and then yeah. I knew I told you I'm gonna give you something. So system and principles, right?
Yeah.
What type of businessman are you, right? So all work works, right? If you don't work, there is nothing that can be done. Like, and then faith without works is always dead. The
Right.
Bible says that, and it's true. I have to work on myself to become a better person, a
That's
better
a
version. I have to work on my trading to become a better trader. I have to work on my humility to live more like Christ. I have
yeah.
to work on certain things to emulate what God wants, the laws that God want me to follow. I can't just wake up one morning and be like, I'm a Christian now. I got everything done. I'm perfect.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got to put work in.
Gotta work. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm a Christian. Somebody might try to trigger me that same day, get me to overreact or
Right.
react. Now I gotta say, you know what? That's a test. God is good. Let me focus on something that's more important. Let me not go against my faith. Let me focus on my growth. Because if you can have a person say something and immediately control what you do, you pretty much like slave.
Yeah.
And I don't like being nobody's slave. I had ancestors that went through that. I'm not into that.
Right.
Physically or mentally, not into that. So going back to the principles and the system, a system will always be uh, your system will always be um the truth if all the principles align. When you take one of the principles of that system, it's pretty much the whole system go fail. Like,
Yeah.
something's gonna hurt, you gonna lose some exponential growth, but ultimately that's gonna lead to failure.
Right.
What I mean by the system, principles have to make up a system. Kind of like having a car. If you have all this stuff, the car, the rims, the outside, the roof, the wheels, let's just say you got all that stuff, right? The steering wheel. Let's just say the system is the engine, but you don't have one in the car. So you got the principle, which is the stuff that help the car be able to operate, the
Right.
engine be able to turn on, and for you to drive. But
You ain't got no engine to
not
turn.
only not only did you not provide the principle, like the engine, which is the system,
Yeah.
you got all the principles, but you ain't even got the main part. You ain't
Right.
put it together like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So then let's just say you had an engine. Let me say you have the stuff around the car that you need. Guess what? You're not actively reaching out to get the information. You ain't got no gas.
Right. You ain't got no gas. You can't
You
go nowhere.
got
You
where you
can't
going? Okay, you got a system, you got the principles, which is the body parts of the car, but you ain't got no fuel. Where are you getting your information from? Yeah, you can have to push the start. You can have the key to crank it up. You ain't going nowhere without no gas.
No.
Imagine saying I'm finna go really far, but you went the wrong way. If I
Man.
tell you, I know I'm messing with you right now.
You
It's
is
like,
right now. I ain't gonna lie.
so let's just say this though. Let's just say though, success like speed, right? All right. So let's just say success like speed. Let's just say me and you finna race,
Mhm.
but I'll tell them we're gonna race to a mile.
Mhm.
I say I'm a I'm gonna allow we're gonna go a whole mile. I'm gonna allow you to ride a bike, but I'm gonna allow you to ride a bike. But guess what? And I'm gonna allow you to ride a bike, and I'm gonna go a mile as well. But now it sounds like it's unfair, probably, right?
Yeah.
Because you got a bike way faster than me, right?
Right.
But I said I was finna go a mile. I didn't say what I was finna go in. I'm finna go in the car.
Right. And
Unfair now, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, you got a bike. It's a little faster for you, but now I got a car.
Right.
But then let's say I give you a car, I let you drive a car. We finna go 100 miles.
Mm-hmm.
But I said you gonna be in the car, you're gonna drive a car, but this time I'm gonna be in the jet.
Then you're gonna beat me.
I'm gonna beat you still.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be exhausted or nothing on that bike because you're in the car. I ain't gonna be
Right.
exhausted either. I'm gonna be on the plane sipping some champagne, probably just
Yeah.
waiting on you to catch up. But then I'm gonna give you the plane. I'm gonna give you a plane, and you take the plane. You fly the plane, and we're gonna go 500 miles. But then you're in the plane. I'm in the jet.
Then you're gonna beat me again. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
When you have a system combined with principles, the knowledge to support it and apply everything right the proper way, then what's going to happen is you will forever be on an incline.
Right.
You will learn how to pivot. What happens is when you lose your principles and you don't catch up to a trend, right? You don't catch up to something that can kill your business
Yeah.
or your growth. It's nothing less than what Netflix and Redbox did to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
When the last time you heard somebody say, "Man, I'm finna go to Blockbuster"?
I ain't heard that. I don't even think I ever heard it.
And somebody at home, what they say they finna? You want to watch Netflix?
Yeah, I heard. I mean, I hear that all the time.
They thought because people understood what people wanted.
Right.
Going back to what I said in the beginning, I never want to sell something to someone that don't need what I got to sell. I
Right.
only sell to people that already need what I have to provide because they won't hate me after if I sell it to them if they didn't need it.
Right.
So Blockbuster thought everybody wanted to come to their building all the time. And don't get me wrong, we love going to Blockbuster back in the days. But what happened was traffic got worse. Inconvenience came into play. You can come get this DVD from this store at Redbox, at Walmart. You can take it home with your own convenience, or we can mail you stuff now to your house. You don't even got to come up there. Wait a minute, we got something better. We got Netflix. Now you can use your own internet in the comfort of your home, and you never got to leave. We got the movies on digital for you,
Right. Yeah,
online for you.
it's a whole thousands of movies.
Blockbuster, who?
Man.
And then you come around, you so big now. You got a digital platform that everybody watches. You put why and how Blockbuster died on Netflix.
Mm. They
Overkill.
had like a little documentary, didn't they? Yeah, that's crazy.
That's over. Yeah. So not only do I build a business, I think about how I can destroy myself.
Right.
So if I know how to destroy myself, nobody else can because I already know.
Mm.
So we so busy trying to go to the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
We so busy trying to go to the top, we don't never think about how we can fall.
Right.
So if I want to know something, I got to go get the information. I got to apply it. I got to understand it. I understand why. I don't want to be Blockbuster. You know, I don't want to be hard headed. I don't want to be able to buy this or do this or change something. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go move like Netflix and Redbox already. You
Right.
know, I'm gonna go instead of trying to complain about AI. I'm gonna learn how to use AI. I'm gonna learn how to master AI. I'm gonna do good things with AI.
Yeah.
Yes, it's cons to AI, but it's also pros as well.
Right.
But the con to it, especially number one, if you don't use AI, your competitors are always gonna lap you
Yeah.
because as AI grows, opportunities grow, and then if you're still in the same boat that you was in beforehand, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be wondering how they're able to automate and set systems up properly from their principles that they input into an artificial intelligence system,
Right.
and you still over here trying to how you say you still trying to use just only a you trying to use chopsticks to pick up the rocks.
Yeah. You're not
Hey,
finna get nowhere with that.
this dude got a whole bulldozer. You know what I'm saying? What we doing? But yeah, when you figure that out, like any platform you got, you got to understand too. Though, I think one of the in my new season at 30 years old, I had to learn something a while back.
Hmm.
I love the grind culture, right? I love being able to be that man that gets to the bread, that has all these things going on. I also want to get married. I also want to have kids.
Yeah.
So when that came into play, I started reflecting and I started understanding that, wait a minute, I need to buy back my time. Hold up, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I know what my other mentor said, Myron. He was like, he makes millions of dollars part-time. So I
Part
was
time.
like, and I'll never forget, I mean, I seen this man make, I ain't counting his pockets in that, but I'm gonna just say this. I seen that man in like 2 hours make 30 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
That's,
also a man who's very spiritual and with the word
mm,
and follows God
yeah,
to the T.
30
And
million.
he used to be a trash man.
Wow.
He got good at sales, and then he been on the rise ever since.
Yeah,
So another mentor of mine to order to get him one on one, so cost 7 figures.
you gotta spend some.
You know, got to put some bread. People people be happy to spend that too, because everybody
Yeah,
that ever spent it, like
successful. Yeah,
everybody. If you, my motto is this: if you charge somebody $100,000, you better be willing to spend it on somebody too.
right.
And if you charge somebody $100,000, you better be able to get them to 1 million.
Yeah,
I know how to do that. I can charge that. If you charge somebody 1 million, you better be able to get them to at least some 10 million.
right.
You know, I know how to do that. And I do have something I'm working on to charge that soon. But you only charge what you can over deliver.
I like that. That makes sense. That makes sense to me though. Like, don't charge me and just set me at what I just spent with you. I got that already. I
Yeah,
mean, how we gonna get farther? How we gonna
right,
expand what I've got I'm working on already?
right. And then people got to remember that you don't need a lot of followers to make $1 million on social media. I'm proof.
Explain.
I'm proof of that. My mentor is that. I'm gonna show you. Have you ever seen Warren Buffett have a Instagram?
I don't think so. No.
He 80 something, bro.
Yeah,
Going
he
on
is. He's
90. I
old.
think 80 or 90. I might be wrong.
He's
Uh,
somewhere in there.
he up there. I got how many old multi-millionaires you see out here that you don't even know of at all?
It's a lot.
They got a
It's a
lot of
lot.
money. You
Yeah.
can't find them on social media at all, can you?
No. Yeah, that's
Social
even
media.
my
Who
dog
else?
podcast. Like the best breeders or like the real good breeders that you want to talk to, they're not on social media.
But everybody know about the owner of Hulk, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you do not need a big following on social media. And even if I know some people on social media right now that got like 100 followers. They make over billions of dollars, and you would never know. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, uh, well, I know. I can't say I know. I can't say I don't know a lot, but it's like I can't count. I'm trying to see if I can count. I can't even count. I'm trying to count. I don't even. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know because that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if you understand social media, you can generate a lot of money. You
Right.
know. But a majority of the billionaires I've met don't even have a Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
Snapchat, a YouTube page.
None of that.
You ain't even catching them on Skype if
But
they're
they
still
operate
alive.
at the highest level though.
Highest level. Going like 3, 4 hedge funds, this real estate platform over here. They got this over here. You would never see them because they don't care about it. They care about what brings income. There's also another billionaire. In order to reach him, I know him. He set up where you have to go through this person or that person and one main person just to get the chance to see if you worth his time or not.
Wow.
And a lot of others like that too, but a lot of them like super famous. So yeah, you don't need a big social media to be impactful. But if you can create a big social media presence, it helps.
For sure.
Helps a lot. So don't sleep on that. But I don't want people to be giving bad information like, oh, you need 1 million followers.
Yeah.
Because how many million of followers that's really broke?
There's a lot of people that's broke with 1 million
That's
followers.
with that much attention, and you can't even accumulate no type of wealth with that.
Right. I know people that are bought followers too, but
ball
then
followers.
yeah,
Yeah. I can't. Nah, I'm good.
no. I
Nah.
put too much time into this already. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some followers now.
Yeah, you go look. Yeah, you just got your first 5,000 followers. Now you want to buy like 100,000 fake
Yeah,
followers.
that's crazy.
Your interactions don't even match up. Yo, you go to live. Your live only got like 5 people,
Yeah, ain't nobody talking to you.
but it's 750,000 people that follow you.
Like I said, this is in the dogs too, like the dog world. Like it's like people on social media that buy followers and act like they didn't, and then try and portray a lifestyle. It's a lot of that, no matter where you go or where you turn your head.
Yeah. So I wanted to make this like super fun and organic with you.
Mhm.
So I didn't go to the other videos we probably go do. I might go a little crazy. Right?
Okay.
So, but because it just ain't enough time for us to like
Right.
do 3. Unless you do, we set up a podcast. We do like 3-4 hours, which I would.
I mean, we could do
We
like
could definitely do that.
This would be
Yeah.
part 1, then we can do a part 2 or part 3. We can just go down the line.
Yeah. So I wanna make you feel like it's like a friend or a brother you talking to.
Right.
Because some people get around me. Yes, Mr. Morgan. Like, no, bro, don't do that. No, that's not. No,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do that. That's Donald. Like, yeah, nice to meet you. Don't
Right.
do that. Don't bow down to me. I ain't Jesus. I don't do
Yeah.
that. You lift your head up when you look me in the eyes when you talk to me.
Right.
You can pray and bow your head to him. Don't do it to me. So I'll say this though. I wanted to build a family because I'm very important to me. So now, like me being a Christian, like I tell Christian men all the time, I act as if I'm a husband already.
Yeah.
Just like you need to act like you're successful already. That means put in the work, put in the grind, put in the hours. Yeah.
Carry yourself differently, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I act like I'm a husband already because one of the best things in my life I'm ever go acquire and ever be blessed with is a wife.
Right.
A godly wife.
Not just a
Not
wife.
just a wife, godly wife.
Right.
Like, so I practice everything through Christianity. And I wasn't always like this. But thanks to me being able to walk back to God, I got back to where I needed to be. Because money ain't everything and success ain't everything. And neither one of them mean nothing without the Lord. And one thing I noticed, some of the most successful men I know right now that the Myrons, the Brendan, the Myron Goldens, the Brendan Bretchards, the just anybody that I'm really like I kind of take a lot of information from and respect and honor.
Mhm.
Those guys got great wives.
Yeah.
They wives play a very Eric Thomas, great wife.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric Thomas and Didi. Yeah. Yeah. He I never forget I went viral. His team started following me. The first time I went viral, I'll never forget it. They took my Instagram though, but it's all good. I'm gonna build it back up. Yeah. It took my Instagram like 3 or 4, was it 4 times?
Wow.
4 times? I lost Instagram 4 times. Yeah.
That'd be hot.
During COVID, I lost it the most.
Wow.
Yeah. You know why.
Let's talk about that though. Me and my friend, this is the same friend that's in the trading. We talk about like being in a stronger, a real relationship, not just talking to another female or just I don't know what you want to say, just talking or just hanging around
just out
another female.
here, doing that. Yeah.
But also trying to make sure you continue to chase your goals, do the things you want to do, and make sure you're successful at the end of the day.
Okay.
We talk about
what
that.
You want to know?
The struggle with that of like balancing a good relationship or trying to be in a relationship or a marriage and being successful. Talk about how to maybe balance that or the process of that.
I'm gonna say this because I'm in the beginning stages with my I'm gonna say the potential person I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say potential. I'm gonna say it was a potential, but I'm very interested in this later. Right. So
that's right.
Throughout me, my 30 years of living this earth, I never thought to because I didn't know myself 100%.
Yeah.
And exactly what y'all talk about, I had this conversation with my friends a lot. We always
Right.
talk about this. You got to ask yourself, do you know who you are first and foremost, right? And not only do you know who you are, do you know if you do know who you are and you do know where you're trying to get to, are you equally yoked with that person you are trying to share your future with?
Right.
What I
Mm.
mean by equally yoked, right? I won't do business with somebody just because they're worth millions and billions of dollars. I've turned down, when I was broke, I turned down $1 million twice.
Wow.
Twice. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, dang, I turned down $1 million. Ah,
Yeah.
like, shoot, but I'll never forget. I turned down $1 million in my teenage years, opportunity. And I turned down $1 million opportunity in my beginning of my entrepreneur journey from very, very, very evil people, very wicked people.
Mm.
It's all money, not good money, right? So when you with a woman, you with a young lady, depending on your age, you got to make sure that y'all equally yoked. What does that mean? That y'all align and oh my God.
Uh-oh. Cut your
Yeah,
camera off.
nah, that was my charger. I'm back.
Oh,
Is that it?
yeah,
I
we
got, oh,
good.
I got it. Okay. You won't even show on my end. What's going on?
I can see you still, but
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Okay, I see myself over here.
All right, cool.
So it's like this. When I dated somebody and I wasn't equally yoked and I wasn't fully focused on what I was supposed to do, it's always a problem with you being or having a work ethic to get to the next level,
Yeah.
right? So it's always going to be an argument. It's always going to be a complaint. It's always going to be some type of conflict
Mm-hmm.
of interest, and it's going to happen because y'all not on the same page. She's not 100% supporting you. You can't 100% support her because y'all not both
On the
going on the
same
same
path.
path.
Yeah.
So that's why I won't date outside of Christianity, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I can't be a Christian and date a woman that's from another religion.
Mm.
And the reason why I can't do that, and even some women that's supposed to be Christians, I can't date some of them because their philosophies don't align with mine.
Right.
You know, I I'm more, I have something called uh relationship with God. I don't pray to nobody but God and Jesus Christ.
Right.
Some people pray to statues. Some people pray to you know, the mother of Jesus, which you're not supposed to,
Yeah.
based on my teachings. And even she mentions that in a hint to that in the Bible, but nobody like to read that part, I guess.
Mhm.
So I have to make sure that in glory to God, I found that, you know, someone already walking with the Lord before me, before I met her. Somebody already having a real relationship with God before I met her. Somebody that's already learning how to be and practicing on being a wife that acts like a wife before she became a wife or become a wife, I should say.
Yeah.
So if you don't find or you don't get with a woman, or whether you a woman that get with a man that's equally yoked, y'all sharpen each other's swords,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not, especially with me, I can only speak on Christianity, following God, believing in Jesus Christ. You got to, if you are a true Christian, you read in Proverbs 31, you read in Ephesians 5, you read in your Bible, you keeping your faith, you being clean and you practicing, everything you're supposed to. A lot of people don't, my homeboy, they be like, oh, you really practicing? Like, you not have, before marriage, you're not having sex? Like, no, I'm not. You
Yeah,
ain't
that's
gonna test,
unheard of now.
you ain't gonna test the waters? Like, no, ain't no water needed to be tested. Y'all, that's uncleanly. That's unclean. I'm not doing that.
Mm.
I said, that's me being a hypocrite.
Right.
Now, one thing about me, I never put down nobody that falls short of that,
Right.
that fall to temptation. I've been there. But just know this, when you come to me, everybody always say this, Donald practice what he preach. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, Donald, he practice what he preach. he the real deal. I'm like, yeah, I am the real deal. Is it easy to do this? No, it's temptation every day.
Right.
But I'm so strong in my faith that my discernment kicks in. I don't need to do business with that person. Yeah, that
Mm.
person he's got very great connections. I don't need to do business with that person because he don't treat people well. I don't need to get with that lady. She look really nice, but she's not who I need in my life, and she has bad intentions. She doesn't like me. She doesn't love me. She likes the idea of what I can provide. I don't need
Yeah.
that in my life. So when you do this, when you get with a great relationship with a woman, right, as a man or a man with a woman, what's going to happen is y'all go learn a lot about each other, and y'all go learn to compliment each other. Because when y'all finally do take that next step to get married, what's gonna happen is while you courting each other, y'all go learn each other so well, it's gonna be just like it was like a missing piece to a puzzle. It just finally got connected.
Yeah.
And now the whole thing, now the light comes on. Ironically, the light is on over here. Now the light's bright. She looks after you, you look after her. Your body belongs to her, her body belongs to you in a respectful manner. And
Right.
that means this: y'all respect each other like y'all are one.
Right.
So you don't do nothing disrespectful for her, with somebody else, and she don't do nothing disrespectful to you, with somebody else. She respects and honors you. You love her like Christ loved the church and sacrificed himself for it. She loves you and she provides everything in her instructions she's supposed to do. Because the Lord said a woman that fears him should be praised. He didn't just say that for a reason, right? Just to say it, to sound good. He said a woman that fears the Lord is worth more than gold, silver, and any other type of valuable
Mm.
thing. So if God said this, and God don't want nobody to, the last person that tried to get all the praises and stuff, he got shot down from heaven like lightning. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He over here like a snake slithering right now trying to attack people. Now that would be Satan. Yeah, do your homework. Like if y'all know how fast lightning looks or seems, that's how fast he got sent out of heaven. So, and that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I have to be patient with this woman. I have to actually love her like Christ told me to love her. This is a gift from God.
Right.
This is not just a regular woman. It's somebody I want to marry. It's somebody I'm going to marry.
Right.
It's somebody I'm already in my mind, I'm already telling myself and improving stuff I could be doing in the future with her. So that woman, everything I'm saying about a woman, think about it like this. Ephesians 5:28. I said Ephesians 5:25. Husband, love your wives like it is yourself, right?
Yeah.
Husband, love your wives like like you love yourself. And a man can't love no woman if he don't love himself.
Right.
Because if you love yourself and your wife is supposed to be your rib, that's in Genesis. When your rib comes into your life, you love her and you treat her like you want to be treated. When that
Absolutely.
love go reciprocate because it's gonna come back tenfold, and then it's gonna be a situation where it's not give or take like the relationships now,
Yeah.
the podcast now. Oh, if he can't spend this on me, two
I don't
thousand
want it.
dollars, I don't want it.
I need
Oh, if she
150.
ain't, I need 150 bands just on a light day.
God.
If she can't give it up on the first night, I don't want it. You opening up a world where no foundation needs to be built off of. Because if you're not going to respect each other and do it the biblical way, because marriage is a ministry. I don't know if people know it. And if you're not in marriage, you just fornicating at that point. You ain't really like committed to nothing. Like
Mm.
I like dudes, they ain't judging nobody, but I can never be in a relationship for 10, 20 years and be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get married with her now. 20 years, 10 years.
Yeah, that's a long
I
time.
wasn't ready though. I wasn't ready. Y'all got 8 kids.
Right. If you weren't ready, you shouldn't have been with her then. If you weren't ready,
Yeah,
especially
you
after
know.
10 years.
That's where people go wrong, man. You don't date the right woman, and women don't date the right man. And what I mean by that is the beginning. Y'all start off with so much diversity that it's crazy that you will go forth with that.
Mm,
Like I tried to date a woman of another religion. Well, of the similar religion, it didn't work out because she believed in, and I'm a speaking code, being nice.
mm-hmm,
She believed in praying to Mary. I didn't.
mm,
I don't pray
yeah.
to Mary.
Right.
Mary said she ain't got no power like that. Why pray
Yeah.
to me? I pray to Jesus. I pray to God. If I see Jesus Christ, I see God. It didn't say if I see Mary, I see God. I ain't read that scripture, but
Yeah. No.
um, well, yeah, you got to be equally yoked with your partner. And if I'd known that a long time ago, I could have prevented a lot of situations. Very time consuming situations,
Right.
very unprogressive situations. But I do appreciate the lessons and I do appreciate the journey for my growth.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change anything. But as a 30-year-old man, and how old are you?
I'm 18. I'm about to be
So,
19 next Saturday.
yeah, I just told my little brother this some time back. Got him I'm praying for the young lady and him to get together.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, he met her and they go to church together now. And I'm praying for that situation. Lord,
Yeah.
please, God.
Yeah.
But he learned how to go for women how I think, because he thinks how I think. He reads this Bible. I don't got to be over his chest to make sure he reading his Bible. He read his Bible. He asking me about a scripture.
Yeah.
He learning from me about business. Bro, I want to learn how to start this. All right, cool. Write a business plan for me.
Right.
What you mean? I said, go ahead and get to it. Take your time, write the business plan. You know how to do it.
Man, that's important right there. Though my mom did the same thing. I ain't really said. I told a couple people like I want to start a clothing brand. She was like, start out, write a business plan. I was like, it threw me off. I'm like, oh man, but it's important. It lets you know what you need. Like I did my I've what's the word I'm looking for? I got a quote on on how much I will spend on what I'm trying to buy. I'm doing myself sewing, all that, the heat press. I'm gonna be doing that myself.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
looked at the prices on everything and I got my prices. And then I was like, I haven't finished my business plan, but I just got my LLC for
But you started
Lawboy.
it.
Yep.
But you
So I'm
started.
yeah,
That's the important part. Like, that's another reason why I'm in the call, because I talk to young men like you all the time. And I want y'all to know, like, I'm talking with you, not talking over you.
right.
So yes, I got more experience than y'all, but yes, I live longer, but I'm giving y'all, I'm giving y'all a whole 30 years of the olden times, and
Yeah.
then y'all watching me pivot to where y'all at now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I gotta actually relearn what's going on. My little brother
Yeah.
keep me hip. Like the little slang. He's talking about type stuff, type stuff. I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm like that. I'm like, the PG version, of course.
Yeah.
I don't play that cussing, but
Yeah.
type stuff. I'll be like, boy, what is that? That's the new slang, big bro. I said, oh
Yeah.
man, I'm old now. I can't keep up. All right. And then they talking about, man, it was sweaty. Like, sweaty, what we sweaty. So I need y'all to keep up to see who I'm lost
Right.
there. Because I do public speaking.
Yeah.
So I do, whether it be prisons, whether it be the elderly home, whether it be the schools. I'm about to start back what I was doing a long time ago. I'm finna start going project to project teaching about credit
Okay.
for free.
That's man. You gonna record it too? You gotta
Oh
record
yeah, yeah,
that. That's I'm
yeah.
gonna say that's
I'm gonna
special.
record it. I'm gonna record it
Yeah.
this time. I'm gonna
Yeah. That's
record it.
special.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. I'm gonna do it.
I was thinking about something not to cut you off. Man,
No, go ahead.
we got to do successful sermons with Donald Morgan on Sunday. Just me and you. You send me a little clip. Yes, keep your faith, keep your heart. We
Okay,
got to do, and I'm
okay,
gonna
okay.
post it every Sunday. We got to do something like that for real.
I got you, bro. I got you,
Bet,
bro. If
bet
you
that.
want to do that, yeah, because I do 'em. I'm working on something for my church too. They want me to create a curriculum, so I'm working on a curriculum for the church.
Okay.
I'm gonna start because I know if they want me to do it for them, And I know that other churches, because Church of God in Christ, we everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start doing those because I am the financial literacy person.
Yeah.
I do get requests to where to put certain money. And a lot of people request me to help them, like even the church want to know where to put the money at, to grow the
Mm,
money. So I do have important roles in my church, and
right. That's a blessing.
I'm also, I pay my tithes,
Right.
yeah, one day. Uh I'm gonna pay a number so big, but I ain't gonna say it on here. I'll tell you privately.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna pay a number so big, uh yeah, it'll just make people look at me like I'm crazy.
Why
Yeah,
would you put all that in this church? Boy, if you don't go
I
put
know,
that
right?
up, that's what they go. Boy, if you don't go
Yeah,
put that up.
nah, it ain't. It's gonna be a number that's gonna be big, but it ain't gonna hurt me.
Right.
But but yeah, I consistently tired. But going back to if you want me to do that, I got you.
Okay, bet we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, on this phone call, this video call, I ain't even got like I haven't even went off. Like, I'm telling
Yeah,
y'all,
like
like,
that's what I'm saying. We just been like conversating. It ain't even
yeah,
been nothing like
I haven't
crazy.
even went off. I
And
haven't even,
I'm hitting my time mark because I got a funeral to go to for my aunt. So
yeah.
like I said, we're gonna do a part 2, part 3. We're gonna have
I'm
to
gonna say
definitely.
this though, exclusive. I have a book coming out soon
Oh,
called, and I'm gonna say the name of the book on here for the first time publicly.
okay,
And probably by the time some of y'all hear it, I'll probably be done sold thousands of copies. But anyway, the name of the book is called Something That's Real by
okay.
Donald Morgan.
I like
This
that.
book, this book will be about me. It will be me giving quality business principles that I've learned and I've used and I still use, as well as it will be me using Bible scriptures to describe things I went through.
Oh yeah, that's
Since
hard.
since a lot of people don't think the Bible do it don't, I guess you could say it don't
For
emulate life.
yeah,
So I'm gonna be showing people that everything I went through, there's a Bible lesson for it into
yeah.
this.
I like that.
With a little bit of poetry.
Man, I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna be like, Donald Morgan, come on, man. He got a book coming out. I'm gonna clip
The
it. Just
name, once again, the name of the book is Something That's Real by Donald Morgan. I'm working on finishing it by this fall in Jesus' name. And if you like a good read, you like a sad story, you like a happy story, you like a thriller, or whatever action,
yeah.
it's gonna be in this book.
Okay, bet.
And if you like financial literacy, you want to learn about Bible principles, financial principles. I got all that for you,
That's a
and
bet.
I got a surprise at the end of the book too. So you have to
He
find
always
out.
got a surprise. He always got
Have to read.
something.
Have to read. You got to read it. You got to read it to figure it
Yeah.
out. Other
Okay.
than that, yeah, I'm gonna start right there. Oh, and before that book comes out, I do have something else I got for people, a credit book that
Okay.
people been asking me for. So if you want to learn how to build your credit score, I got a book coming out. Probably drop an ebook first, then I'll drop the physical.
Okay, bet. That's amazing though, man. Props to you for that. Just to the viewers, whoever see this, they probably gonna be like, man, he on there lying. They gonna be like, I don't know if you seen that little video where this dude was like, it's like, when did you make your first million? He said, about 7 months old. And the reason I remember it was 7 months old to make my first million. They gonna say that's you, but I'm like, man, I feel like Donald, like he really been in this, like how you was explaining it to me, like I knew. I'm like, man, he really been in this. He really been doing this.
I'll say this, and I'm not gonna put their names out there.
Yeah,
I have a couple mentees that's already got a million, so I just say that. Don't worry about what I got. Worry about who I help. Yeah.
yeah. I
So
like that.
I got a couple mentees already worth a million. So
I like
it,
that.
and I've been in just to say something. I've been in crypto before it got famous.
We're gonna have to have an episode on crypto, man. We about to get it in. We about to get it in.
I've been
Y'all
in
be on the lookout.
Bitcoin. I've been in Bitcoin before I got famous. So I ain't gonna tell nobody what my number looked like. But I'm gonna just say this though, and it wasn't when it went to 20,000. I was in it before that.
Dang. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Me and Donald Morgan finna get it in. Y'all be on the lookout. Like, subscribe, share. Go follow Donald Morgan on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Facebook.
I have an hour long. Yeah, Facebook too. I got so many. I have an hour long video coming of business knowledge, and stuff like
Mm,
that. of content, and I said I was gonna do it after I did this with him and
Yeah,
let him get his glory with me. Uh, just come find out, man. Just pay attention to who I post and who I hang out with. It should tell
for
you a
sure.
lot. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, we definitely gonna have to.
Thank you, Long Way Media. Thank you, Javier. Make sure is it Javier, right?
Yep, Javier. Yep.
All right, making sure Javier, because if you was like Mexican, it'd probably be Javier, but you Javier.
I got 3%
Javier.
Spanish in me. 3%.
Okay. Well, it might be valid. So
It
what you
might be.
do, y'all go follow Long Way Media and
Yes, sir.
y'all go subscribe to him on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Check out his dog page too. Y'all like dogs.
Man,
Y'all want to
appreciate
learn more. Other than that, yeah, this won't be my last video. We go turn it up next time.
you. 100%. That's Donald
100%.
Morgan, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Amen.
I
Blessings.
might have a vlog next week. It's my birthday week, so I don't know. I might be
Happy
getting into.
early birthday, my brother.
Appreciate that, bro.
And on my birthday week, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be in Maldives. So I
Dang,
told her,
okay.
hey, I'm gonna be in Maldives. So I ain't gonna lie. I
Look at
tell people,
this guy right here, man. He just
hey, look, I need a break. I need a break. No
I
work.
feel you though.
Yeah, I'm going to Maldives. I'm going to Maldives single though, probably.
Okay.
But next time I go, it won't be. I'll be married.
Okay. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to, man. But like I said, appreciate you for your time, brother. Y'all go follow this man.
Right. I'll turn up for y'all next time.
For sure. All right, y'all. Another episode of Long Way Podcast. See y'all. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you.